I'm Fire Chief Scott Dorman with the Estes Valley Fire Protection District. I joined as a volunteer on January 4th, 1983. So I was working for Adrian Electric at that time as an electrician. And at that time it was a little difficult to get on the volunteer organization. And for some reason they elected me on, and it's kind of history since then. But I wanted to be a fireman. My mom even had a picture of me washing a pedal fire car. I was probably, a year and a half, 2 years old. Well, I started out as a rookie because I didn't know anything about firefighting. That next year I was able to test for Firefighter 2, which was the next level, and I also became an EMT at that time. Our ambulance service at that time was a private ambulance service, Gibson Ambulance Service, provided all the car accident rescues, and they did it with just hand-powered tools. I became chief in a vote of the department, because at that time it was just a vote of the volunteers, and that was on December of 1996. So in 97 I took over in January 97 as chief, and that was right after we moved into our new fire station. So I remember when the propane truck caught on fire there. That was probably one of the hardest ones I was on, because 6 of us had just gone through propane fire training for the first time. Hair-raising one for sure. Some others, of course, the mall fire downtown. That was a fairly large fire. That was probably the largest fire that I was the incident commander of and had to deal with. So the incident commander is in charge of the whole incident, which includes all the other responding agencies, and I think we had like 7 or 8 responding agencies that assisted, so it's coordination of all of that. Woodland Heights Fire. Woodland Heights Fire, I wasn't the first one there. I was actually in Grand Lake, and then I had to come over the park. The Park Service actually gave me a lights and siren escort from the west side all the way through the park to here. Well, it'd been raining for quite a few days, and the rain had actually woken me up that night, and just then we got a page to go out to assist Boulder County for a rescue, a dive team call right there at the Big Elk Road. There's a house just right in there that the people were trapped in the house, not able to get out because the river was flooding. On my way into town from Mares Lake Road, I could see that our rivers were really had gone up significantly, and we're getting ready to flood, and with the rain. So then I had dispatch do a general page for everybody, not just the dive team, to respond to the station to start preparing for what was going to happen. We didn't really know exactly what was going to happen. We set up kind of a command post at the fire station, and we assigned people down to Big Thompson and going along all of the rivers, Fall River, and evacuating homes and tourists and all of that. So took a lot of effort to be able to evacuate all those folks, and we couldn't have done it without the dedicated volunteers that we had. Mm-hmm. That wasn't that big of an incident. Fortunately, the pilot was having engine problems, and he just saw a straight road and found a good place to land, and we just had to block it off, and then they had to dismantle the plane to remove it out of the area. But so we didn't really have to do too much on that one. I think we had around 83 calls that first year when I got on. And I think the most we've had has been over 650 calls since then. So we've not only increased the call volume, but we've also increased the types of services we provide. Because when I first got on, all we did was fires. We didn't do any rescues, we didn't do any EMS, we didn't have a dive team. So as time grew and we saw that we needed those services, we started those, and I was usually right in the middle of those, and because I always was anxious to do something, learn something new. So, well, my wife probably number one. I mean, without the support of your family, and you just can't do this job. And so you really have to have that support. And then I would say next would be the volunteers. I mean, with the dedication that they put in, the training, I don't think the general public really understands how much service they provide to this community, and the time and efforts that they put in. So without them, we just couldn't do it. And then I would say the community itself, with providing us the resources to be able to provide those services to them. So, well, I think Chief Wolf, as a new chief, came here, and he's a great guy. He reminds me of myself 30 years ago. So I think he's going to really take it the next level of service to the community. And I love doing photography, so I'll be doing a lot more photography and hiking and trying to learn how to play golf. You know, it's kind of a lifelong dream. So, or nightmare, however you want to look at it. We've really appreciated the support we've had from you folks as well. I mean, all the pictures that you've taken and the articles and everything. It's always been just such a positive experience working with you, and we really appreciate that. Yeah. So, when we moved here in 1966, we were only here for a few months, and my father was killed in a car accident in Nebraska. And the community really supported our family, even though we were just newly here. So I feel like I always had to pay back. Yeah. So.
Oh, wow, that's touching.